Alright, it seems that we got something back from Jim Seymour, our third-party reviewer on this. We'll talk about this later going forward about getting his stuff at least emailed to us instead of dropped to us at the meeting or so forth, but it seems like he has no issue with this, other than he said he might want to see a loaned and seated thing on the North Raymond Road side. I don't know if that's an issue that anybody has a concern about or not.
Do you have his plans printed out? I did print out a set, I don't know if you have, oh, you guys.
No,
Yeah,
I saw
perfect,
this, but this is what I'm talking about. This was not in our packet, so it's the first time I got to read it, and it's seeming like that was the only thing he was saying possibly as an engineer. He might like to see. Once again, as he always says, it's up to our discretion. It's advice, not law, so.
Sure.
Does anybody have any issue with this? Because we asked them to come back to make sure the parking was all outside of the right-of-ways of the state.
I just have a comment as
Yes.
far as Jim's comments, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I'm not sure I go along with the seating of that, only because, I mean, it's something where the pavement and the salt and from winter is gonna just kill the grass there, and it's not a, it's kind of a waste of time and money for everybody, I think, because it's not gonna work. I mean, it'd be better if they just paved it, you know, or whatever, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
it is
it's not.
currently paved.
Right, because we live in a state where we have winter and we get road treatments that aren't favorable for grass, so. And I do that in another area, the same thing, road treatments in the winter kill it, so. That's my thoughts, I don't know what other people on the board.
Anybody on the board have any questions? Basically, they produced what we asked them to produce, to come back and finish off their site plan. Scott, is there an issue that you have with any of this? And
No.
it seems like it's exactly what. So once again, this was tabled back in September. The only reason I know that is because I wrote on the top of the header table. So I'll go back down through this, we'll check off everything. And anybody else in the audience that wishes to speak again? Okay. Okay. And no one has reached out to your office, Scott or Sarah, to,
They have not.
they would have originally, because obviously about a notification doesn't go out every single time, so if they didn't have an issue back then, then. Maybe a floodplain, the issue if that's gonna be an issue. We'll all be underwater. The setback dimension shown in net, the applicant, clicked waiver. Is there a setback issue that we have on this?
It is a setback issue.
Oh, no.
I mean, everything's a setback issue.
Yeah, that's why I put the, I assumed there was a waiver, just it's
Existing, so-
clearly outside.
Was
of
existing,
setback.
so I mean, how do we check that? Because we're not waiving it because it currently exists, so should I just say on file because the building's existed in its current state? Okay, thank you. As I'm going down through here, I'm just trying to remember back in there. So the septic design is all good on that then, Scott? Alright, so may I have a motion on the checklist being complete, please?
I can make a motion on that, if you like, I'll make a motion that the formal site plan for Howe and Hughes Holdings, 95 Marlborough Hill Road, we consider the checklist complete.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Alright, I'll take a motion to approve. Does anybody want on-site inspection? Public hearing?
No.
Okay, so,
No. Are there any other conditions of it we're needing for that?
no, okay.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the formal site plan for Howard Hughes Holdings at 95 Mariah Hill Road, map 27, lot 17 and 18.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? I'm sorry it was such a drawn-out thing, but it's kind of complicated when you have a triangular lot with
Yeah.
all sorts of issues, right?
Yeah, we appreciate the help.
Yeah, okay. Sarah, on this,
Mhm.
was the 24th of September, that wasn't the first time we saw this, or do you want that to?
Upper left-hand corner on the front page is the first time you saw it.
The 10th, oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, I guess permits,
Okay.
deal with the office, we're all set to go.
Alright.
Thank you, guys. Yep,
Thank you.
great. Thank you. All right, the next up is formal shoreline zoning application for Brendan Smith, Blackberry Lane, map 5, lot 5. So, everybody didn't get a big copy here, but you can share that one. Whatever, but that's, it's what's in our pack, but it's a bigger one, especially if you want to look at
You want the-
this diagram here, which is a lot easier to read the colors and so forth, isn't it? So-
I have another one if you guys want.
No, we have plenty up here for ourselves, so. Please introduce yourself and what you're trying to do.
Thank you. So, good evening, Mike Richmond, Custom Concepts Architecture from Clement Scarborough. I'm here on behalf of the Smith family, half of which is here, 9 Blackberry Lane. The Smith family purchased this property with sort of long-term dreams of someday redoing it. But Mother Nature had something else in mind, and last December, a large tree crushed it, pretty much. So, a couple points. The cottage is currently not safe at all, not inhabitable, and really is beyond reasonable repair. It does not really have a defined parking area, driveway, or walkways. It's quite rustic. They basically park at the top of the hill and walk down to the cottage, a little footpath. The eventual project would involve a new septic system. The location of that, or the rough location of it, is shown on your plans. The project would also involve a new well. There's a potential location on the plan, but we really couldn't nail that down until the location of the house is nailed down. So that I'm hoping we could work with the code officer on going forward. The new cottage design would be expanded within the limitations of the shoreline zone, which I can continue to work with Scott on with that. But the location is really determined by a few different factors. Number one, there's some really big trees there, which obviously led to this whole discussion. But there's a couple big ones right behind the tree, so right behind the cottage. So sliding back on one corner, this right here, would have an impact on these trees. And also the slope of the property. This is lakefront, so the property slopes from the rear towards the water. But there does seem to be a relatively flat area where the current cottage is located. I really don't know if it was natural or man-made, but it's there. So it does lend itself to the placement of the new cottage, since it's already sort of a flat and disturbed area. And if we pushed it further up the hill, we would be forced into a couple retaining walls. We would definitely have to divert water around it. And in a negative way, it would probably raise the structure out of the ground more than we'd want it to, making it more difficult for people with mobility issues. You know, we'd probably have to have quite a few stairs or a ramp in the future. And one of the biggest things is, and something that is not in your packet but very important, is the current electrical lines. This is the current situation here, current cottage. This yellow line are overhead power lines. Pole, pole. So with the new proposed, we're still getting closer to it. You know, we sort of worked with Scott on that a little bit. But obviously, if we keep going, we're gonna be under these, and that's not a good situation. So we're kind of hamstrung with this. We twisted it a little bit. I do want to point out that we are no closer to this western property line than it is now. And this would actually be a little bit further away from the water here than it is now. And it would be much further away here because of this pivot, this angle that we're hoping to achieve. The only way for the owners right now to really access this part of the property is right through here. There's a large tree here. This is all cleared. From this tree over is not, and it's actually real woods, and it's relatively steep. So by cranking that a little bit, we're basically just trying to open it up so that they can physically get past the cottage.
So the overhead wires are not the entrance to the property as far as the electrical system, it's wires that are passing through the property.
Correct.
Is that what you're telling us?
Correct, yeah. You can see it here, they jump right across.
Okay.
Keep going. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the second, on the proposed conditions, where you say you're not gonna get any closer to your property line on the left. When you're tweaking the house, you're rotating the house a certain amount of degrees. I see where the existing back corner of the property is versus the new. Now, so go on to the right-hand side one. So if you see where the existing is there, and then you come back another, what, 10 feet or so to where the proposed is?
Yep.
I'm not saying this isn't to scale, or I'm not seeing it right, but how doesn't that get closer to the sideline, or does it even matter, because it's still outside of 20?
It's 26.8 was the closest in the existing.
The existing is 26.8?
Yeah, on the front corner. If you go back to the existing on the
Oh,
other side.
over there,
Yeah,
okay.
so
All
it's
right, so
now,
that's- yeah,
it's now
yeah.
another foot away.
It's another foot away, but it's, back there, it was actually further away back there,
Yeah.
and it's getting closer there, but it's not getting any closer
Than
than
the closest
to
point.
the front corner. Gotcha, gotcha. And just for my own edification, that's a 60-inch pine in the front. That's a 5-foot diameter pine.
Some big ones in there.
There's a bunch of them down in that whole area there.
So that kind of explains maybe why there's a big boom boom down
Oh,
through
yeah.
the cottage.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we permitted most of those to go, didn't we?
that one in particular, yeah.
Those, that's,
Yeah, there's a lot of ugly ones in there. If they were just straight, that would be one thing, but they go up and they
these are
split.
more like pasture pines, they just grew
Yeah.
and went directions, yeah. When you see things of that size, it's amazing, but, yeah.
Yeah,
Not that
yeah.
it makes it worth anything, or,
You end up here with pictures of a camp like mine.
and that's the issue that we have to deal with a lot of the times is, and Scott does as well, with people that wanna take down trees that they think are gonna be an issue, and obviously these are an issue and was an issue.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they just wanna clear so they have a better view. This is not what's happening here.
No.
So, but yeah, it's a hard thing to deal with on the
They were
shorelines.
permitted to come down prior to.
Prior to the. That's horrible.
Mother Nature took care of it for them.
Well, hopefully you're looking at a nice new camp, so. Anybody on the board here, I mean, I know we're trying to move stuff back to the best practical extent. once again, you get the power line issue, you have bigger trees out back, you get closer to that, you start digging, you're gonna kill those trees as well.
If you're going uphill.
You're going uphill, retaining this, that, and everything else. The height's not an issue on that because in that zone. I greatly appreciate this bigger thing here with the elevations and stuff on that. We, a lot of times, get narratives, but not drawings to that extent. So that's a help to us. Scott, do you have any? With this, it sounds like you've been working with these
Yep.
gentlemen on it.
They've got 4 weeks now to get this thing permitted, so.
Right, so, once again, you come in, pull your permit because you've got a certain amount of time with the destruction of that. Allowing that to, I hate the word, to be grandfathered, but to keep it and do what you wanna do, so. Anybody else here? Well, I'll go down through.
So this question for Scott though is that if they're getting permitted, so because of the year of time from when it happened, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And you can't waive that at all.
No.
No.
No, but the permit is good as long as they continue to work on it, so they got 6 months to work on it.
Right, okay.
I'm assuming that we saw about a notification in their package that you did send out everything on our end, right? Thank you. You wanna recycle your stuff, or you want us to take it to, yeah, that's what I
Whatever
thought.
works.
Just trying to make it easier on Sarah, so don't have to carry.
Oh, I don't mind taking it with me, we recycle it work,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with that side of the lake, and so do you come down off Tucker, or is it to get in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
You drive by that all the time, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's weird when you come down over the hill and stuff. I think that passed that. Tree removal plan, Scott, should I say that's on file because you're talking about,
There is, but
There-
we'll have to, the same condition for replanting from,
correct, but I'm just gonna say it's not,
Yeah.
it's gonna be on file because you say they do have a plan for that. So it seems like you said you got a permit by rule too, so everything's all in order on that, so can I have a motion on the checklist being complete, please?
I'll make a motion that the checklist for the formal shoreline zone application for Brandon Smith, 9 Blackberry Lane, map 5, lot 5, is complete.
A second, please?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, before we go into the final approval, is there anybody here that's in the butter that wants to speak about this? we very rarely have audience members, so I asked that. So I guess on that note, we can go to the formal, unless anybody wants to do an on-site or a public hearing.
No other conditions other than this?
Nope.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the shoreline zoning application for Brandon Smith, 9 Blackberry Lane, map 5, lot 5.
Second, please.
Second.
All those in favor? So you heard your marching orders, pull your permits quickly
Yep,
and do what you have to do
yep,
and go from there, so congratulations.
thank you.
Real quick procedural question while I have you.
Yep.
Submitted by that date or permitted and then signed by that date?
It has to be permitted by that, before that date.
Okay,
December 18th.
18th.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go draw. Thank you very, very much.
Yep, you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, the next thing is the formal site plan for none such properties, 723 Main Street, map 6, lot 52. You'd like to come up and introduce yourself?
Good evening, Tim Boardman, None Such River Brewing.
Yep. You want to just describe what you're trying to do out that way?
So we
please?
would like to add a light to our back parking lot area because it currently doesn't have one and we're looking to improve the safety of our employees.
I don't know if everyone saw this lighting plan that they had produced here. I'm assuming, I didn't even see who produced this.
Is that gonna be pole mounted?
It can be if it needs to be.
I don't know, I'm just asking, because I'm not sure, it doesn't really show on the plans.
That's, well, I mean, again, at the discretion of the planning board, we would like to mount it on a tree that's there for, say, $10,000. If that's not an option, then we can install a pole there.
So the other three are already existing.
So the one in the main area, so we have three kind of main parking areas. We have the one in the front
Yep.
that's currently,
Pole mounted.
it's pole mounted, it's an older light, it doesn't really light the parking area up. We have one building mounted that we just had to replace because it failed. And then the one that we're really looking to add that's not existing is the SAMH, that one right there.
Yep.
That doesn't exist right now, and that back parking lot is currently unlit. That's where our trash and cardboard recycling facilities are, and especially this time of year, as we're closing, it's dark at 4:30, and our employees park in that back lot, so we would just like to illuminate that for their safety and convenience. That's pretty much it.
Want them to step on a possum when they take the trash out.
No, that's a hazard we all have to live with.
Really? I didn't think there's any left. I see them, they're all squashed on the road from what I've seen in the last couple of
I saw
months.
one at my house, they pulled my driveway last week and boom, it went right across the driveway.
Skunk or a porcupine would be worse.
Yeah.
So you currently have a tree over there you can mount this on?
There's lots of trees there, and along that, there's a little swale that drains from the uphill side down towards the pond that we could attach that to, that would be very practical.
I personally don't see the difference of having it on a pole or a tree, but then again, I don't know the building codes. Is there an issue with that electrically?
As long as it's not an electrical issue, I don't have an issue with it. No.
Okay. And once again, just if the tree fails and hopefully doesn't come
We'll
down
have
on
to
the
cross that
building,
bridge when we get to it.
then you can address that by doing something.
I mean, the tree's pruned enough so it won't interfere with the lighting itself.
Absolutely. I think the current height stated on that pole is 18 feet, so
Yeah.
anything above that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Anything below that, then we can do it.
No, once again, this is normally something we don't get, that's part of the site plan is the lumen thing here, and I appreciate that you get that, because it shows full cutoff lighting at the boundaries and so forth, so. Anybody here have an issue with this? It seems to make a lot of sense for safety reasons.
I don't have an issue, but what were you saying about the other light, the one that's on the pole? and the-
We just wanted to upgrade that lighting. Right now, it's just an old light. And when I submitted this to our light plan engineer, they just recommended that specific type of lumens for that area.
Okay,
So when we were to install this one, we would just upgrade the lights
okay,
in accordance with the luminescence plan
Yeah.
that we set forth for the engineer.
sounds good.
Once again, probably
I
lower
parked under
wattage, better lumens.
I parked under that light, it's not great. You're
Yes, thank you. It's not. That's why I'm here.
All right, nobody has an issue? So you gotta become chair again, George, I mean, I just can't do this all the time. No others having any issues, Sarah?
Correct.
Thank you. Surprising, wonderful.
Yes.
I just will smile and keep going.
That's not real.
What, me smiling?
No.
Wood, real wood.
Many miracles there.
Oh my God, it's just sometimes when we full cut off. Is everything working out to your expectations down there?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep, so far so good. The feedback's been, from the community's been very positive, and
Wonderful.
we're working hard to cultivate that.
Appreciate you having the CEDC thing the other night. That was wonderful. All right. Can I have a motion on the checklist being complete, please?
Yeah, I can make a motion that the checklist for the formal site plan review of non-such property LLC, 723 Main Street, map 6, lot 52 is complete.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor? All right, take a motion on the final application. Anybody want to see an on-site public hearing? Obviously not. You just have to say that, I guess. You want to go, George, or someone want to make the formal?
I'll make a motion that we approve the formal site plan review for non-such property LLC, 723 Main Street, map 6, lot 52 as presented.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor? Congratulations, you have a nice, well-lit parking lot going for it.
Thank you very much.
Please come in and pull your permits. And,
Sidewalk.
what's that?
Sidewalk.
Well, we can always say we're doing a sidewalk when we're just doing a personal appearance.
I know, we do sidewalks on
Yeah,
Monday when there's
right.
trivia there, so.
Wonderful.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for,
it.
thanks for opening, thanks for expanding your business up this way. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we got findings and a bunch of findings. And now we actually have to read through who's there on this to see. Do we have enough for everybody on this, Sarah?
Yes.
Ian,
Yeah, the one on the plane, I was here for that one.
All right, so we got
A while ago.
a findings back for Daniel Boyd, 420 Plains Road. That was, he was splitting the lot off that and creating a backlot driveway. Anybody have any concerns, questions? Anything? If not, I would entertain the motion, please.
I'll make a motion that the finding of facts and conclusive law for Daniel Boyd, 420 Main, Plains Road, map 7, lot 11, sublot 1, is approved. Presented.
I
Oh,
can't-
you would, yeah.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? You wanna sign that one? All right. The next one is a formal shoreline zoning application, findings of fact for Julia Ortenzio, 61 Mountain View Drive, map 49, lot 29. She basically skinnied up a deck and did a few other things so she could connect two of them. That's the gist of everything on that. Anybody have any questions, concerns on that? She stayed within the impervious amounts.
I gotta do this one because George wasn't here.
Yeah, I wasn't here
Yep.
on this one.
Yep.
Julia, make a motion to accept the findings of fact for a formal shoreline zoning application, Julia Ortenzio, 61 Mountain View Drive, map 49, lot 29.
Second.
All those in favor? And the last findings we have from our last meeting. And that was a pet grooming facility on Cobb Road, so findings for Ben and Aaron Briggs, 53 Cobb Road, map 11, lot 42C. So, anybody have an issue with that? That was something that they presented at our last meeting.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the finding of facts for formal site plan review, Ben and Aaron Briggs, 53 Cobb Road, map 11, lot 42C.
Second.
Alright, discussion, all those in favor?
I almost wanted to, Julius to.
I find myself doing that.
I was like, oh.
Alright, well, everybody, that's all that we had on our agenda for tonight, so I will go around the table. Heather, do you have anything?
And just a reminder, I'm not here at the next meeting.
Jim, do you have
I'm
anything?
good.
You good? Jonathan?
Good.
You can say.
I don't have anything pertaining to the planning board, I just wanted to say thank you for everyone that worked the election and everybody that came out to vote. We appreciate you doing that. George, do you have anything?
I'm good. Thank you.
Scott?
Good?
Sarah, we got anything coming up?
It's Thanksgiving week, right?
Nothing on the calendar for December yet.
Not yet.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we'll start working on, obviously, the change stuff and whatever. Obviously, we have a lot more time now because of, we do, but we don't.
We do,
Still
we
have,
don't.
still need to,
Yes.
push it through and whatever, but,
Yes.
all right, so I guess I'll take a final motion, please.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Wow, I was just looking at how fast we did that.
I know, there's a lot of applications and stuff.
That's a pretty shot.
Did a good one. That was good.
No, when
36 minutes.
when you actually have
It's like a drive-through.
a lighting plan
Yeah.
brought up instead of, well, it's
You
gonna
get
be
that?
cut off light, I mean, it's